I don't know. Ask her. I can't speak. I can't speak on behalf of Zaid or even Nurul. Uh, First of all, I'm not the official spokesman, and I have not discussed this with them. So I don't know what's in their minds. I've always been disappointed. From way back in 1999, when PKR was first formed, when it was called PKN. And I always, even way back, I've criticized PAS, I've criticized DAP, I've criticized PKR, as well as I've criticized all the parties within Barisan Nasional. So my criticism is not something of late. It's something that's always been there. I've criticized the opposition even way back before there was an opposition coalition. Back in the mid-90s, while Anwar was still in UMNO. So it's not something new. That's not for me to say. That's for the members to evaluate. I'm not a member of PKR. You want me to make an educated guess? Because that's all it is I'm just guessing. Well, Azmin stayed with Anwar from the beginning. And Azmin was in the early group of supporters who left together with Anwar. And he's probably the only one remaining. All the others, Lokman Nur Adam, Eza Muhammad Noor, Zaid Mat Arif, many others in fact. Roslan Kasim, you can probably name, 20 or 30 ex-strong Anwar supporters who have since left Anwar and have gone back to UMNO. One of the few remaining people who stayed with Anwar from the beginning until now is Azmin. So probably the loyalty that Azmin has demonstrated towards Anwar, well, invariably Anwar will probably have a soft spot for him. He stood by Anwar from the beginning until now. He has not abandoned Anwar. So the loyalty that Azmin has demonstrated to Anwar, invariably, there would be a soft spot. I mean, that's how I would probably interpret it. What does Article 153 say? I'll tell you what it says. It shall be the responsibility of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to safeguard the special position of the Malays and natives of any of the states of Sabah and Sarawak. Okay? Plus the legitimate interests of the other communities. What's wrong with Article 153? Why does it need to be amended? I mean, is there anything that in Article 153 that says any race has special privileges? No. It just says to safeguard the special position of the Malays, as well as the natives of Sabah Sarawak, as well as the legitimate interests of the other communities, which means Article 153 protects everybody. Every Malaysian, the special position is protected. But there's no talk about any one race having special rights. In fact, Article 153 specifically says all communities. So why are we arguing about Article 153 when it's a non-issue? It's very clear. But what we can argue about is the misinterpretation of what Article 153 said. A lot of people talk about Article 153 without even reading what article. And we always talk about just one article, Article 153. But the Constitution comprises of 181 articles. And why don't we look at Article 4? You know what Article 4 says? Okay, Article 4 says, this Constitution, which means the Federal Constitution of Malaysia, is the supreme law of the Federation. And any law passed after Merdeka, which is inconsistent with this Constitution, shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be void which means any law that is passed after Merdeka Day, which is inconsistent or violates the Constitution, is void. So any law that you pass, as long as it's contradictory to the Constitution, is not valid. So we talk about one article, but we don't talk about the whole Constitution. In particular, Article 4, which very clearly spells out you can't pass a law which goes against the Constitution, full stop. So the trouble is many people argue, especially those who defend Ketuhanan Melayu, many people argue about the Constitution. None of them have actually read the Constitution, and none of them understand the Constitution, and they argue about something they are totally ignorant about. That is the problem. The problem is not the Constitution or the articles of the Constitution. The problem is the ignorance of people who talk about the Constitution. The jahilan, those who wish to discuss